Wait, we have to ultra. Nice. That was so low. That's also not what you do there. Chill out. I got really nervous. Yo. Okay, I'm gonna close chat because this is legit. Okay. Oh, making 2 taps. Thank you. My fingers don't work. Dude, get out of the way. Okay, it's actually like, it's fine actually. Okay, congrats, I made it to the hard part. Hello, golden block. hell? What? 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 That is insane. That is insane. That's insane. I got it. I just I just got it. I I just Oh my god. Yo, Krat, drop the dash code so I can do it real quick. I need to do the dash code before I can quit. This is very, very important. Okay. Left, left, left. Okay, GG. Alright, I haven't looked at my file timer a single time. What's it gonna be? Probably 30 hours. Bro, holy smokes. Dude, I'm the goat. What was that? Why did I just get it? That's not normal. I fluked half. Wait. Thank you, everyone. Where was my PB? This was my PB in this room. It's like 5 minutes in. Uh, alright, alright, dude, alright. Okay.